Whether it is at work or at home, finding a parking spot can be a living nightmare. You either have to A. Pay a hefty sum for the hourly rate, or B. Circle the block to find an open space. Sometimes, even both. ParkIt Malaysia wants to make our lives a little less painful by connecting drivers to owners of unused parking spaces.
The parking situation in our society is terrible. Not to say there's not enough supply, but whatever that is accessible is not enough. However, if we look at it closely, I think there is a lot of supply which are not accessible to people, and these supply are located in residential buildings.
That's right. ParkIt wants to prove that the key to solving Malaysia's parking conundrum is through efficiency. With ParkIt, drivers can rent underutilized, reserved residential parking lots near their offices. Kian says in the bigger picture, this makes economic sense. After all, the typical car is parked about 90% of the time, and in some neighborhoods, parking lots can be completely empty.
If you look at the places where there is the biggest parking problems like KLCC, Bangsa, Damansara Heights, TDI, KL Central, Pusat Bandar Damansara, there's a lot of residentials nearby, and they serve mostly the expatriate market. And expatriates mostly do not have a car. And we have looked into the car park. The car park is empty by the hundreds, and yet you have people who are complaining. They say that there's not enough parking. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to us. Economically, if we can activate these car park spaces, then of course we can create more supply without spending millions to build a multi-level car park.
Kian, now backed by two other co-founders, set up ParkIt Malaysia after experiencing a parking nightmare while working in central KL, which is notoriously known for its cruel parking rates and inadequate parking supply. Once a consultant for PwC Malaysia, Kian says most days started with a sense of parking dread, and paying to rent a regular parking lot every day in the city centre proved to be a bane. Then Kian and his colleagues spotted a condominium right beside their office tower and had an idea.
What happened next was we just tried to look for a parking there, look for a property owner who doesn't mind renting their parking space to us. And I found one owner who was willing to help me out. He charged me like a lot, 30% cheaper than what I'm paying now. And in turn, I get a reserved space, a safer space, covered space, and a more convenient space next to my office, rather than walking 15 minutes away, paying more expensive under the hot sun.
It was then that Kian saw an opportunity to tap into the sharing economy, currently dominated by property and transportation players. Still working full-time at PwC then, Kian and his partners got into the Watchtower and Friends, or WTF, and Nexia Accelerator program. It was through the initiative that the business began catering to more drivers in 3 locations: KL Central, Bangsa, and Damansara Heights, where parking issues are prevalent.
And after being able to help a few of my friends themselves, then we got an opportunity where the investors gave us some money to test out the market. After about 4 or 5 months into the program, and after growing the business to about 50 to 60 drivers, then we start to realize that, hey, there might be a bigger market on this.
In December 2016, ParkIt was officially established, and 2 years later today, it is managing about 2,000 spaces in 60 condominiums within the Klang Valley. The number of active service subscribers has reached about 900 drivers. It may be a milestone for ParkIt, which has been around for just a little longer than 2 years, but Kian says it has yet to eliminate one long-standing issue: security.
The sharing economy is difficult. I start to realize there are a lot of help actually in terms of awareness, in terms of education of what the sharing economy means, what is faced by Uber, Grab, Airbnb, these startups. The same applies to us. We get the same problems about security, problems about, oh, is it safe, problems about, oh, we're staying here, like, how can you let someone come in, and all these things. You can see Grab and Uber, they are accepted in our society. Airbnb is also widely accepted, so that has helped us a little bit. However, it's still difficult.
But this does not mean the company isn't doing anything to address the security concerns.
As ParkIt, we are driving that sort of awareness and education program. We do take a lot of effort to screen our customers. We have a KYC process, know your customer process. For car park tenants, we always meet them personally, face to face, when we pass them any access devices. And from their physical appearance, we match that with their IC, their valid driving license, and they have to register the car with us.
For Kian, the satisfaction of running the peer-to-peer car park sharing platform is second to none, considering the risk of leaving his stable corporate gig for something more uncertain. Still, he has never looked back and even plans to introduce ParkIt to other markets.
At the end of this year, we want to hopefully go regional. So we want to go to Singapore, we want to go to Thailand, Australia, where we have seen the model working. We are getting inquiries from Penang and Johor. Now we are doing our research to see whether it's viable with the current funds that we have, with the current time that we have and the resources, or whether we can expand there efficiently. The spirit of ParkIt is really to help solve car park problems one driver at a time.